Welcome back, and you're just in time for the Monday Report Town Hall session. We are live in Nakuru at the Great Bontana Hotel. This is where we are starting our inaugural series of Sauti ya Mwananchi, and the only question we are asking tonight is, are the citizens getting value for their money? In the audience, our dignitaries, more than 200 members of the state are here. They are called Sovereignty Belongs to the People. So they are the ones who will run the conversation. We'll give them back the microphone so that they ask their leaders and give a review of what they think. Are they getting value for their money or not? Let me introduce my guests as well, starting from my immediate left. Lawrence Kibet is here. He's the Director General Public Investments and Portfolio Management at the Treasury. Thank you for making time. Next to him is Joy Brenda Mdivo. She's the Chairperson, KPLC. Thank you for making time. Next to her is Charles Otieno, Public Safety and Security Sector Reform Specialist. Thank you for making time. And next to him is Chimwani Chitai from Cube Studio KE and also a farmer. Thank you for making time. In the front row, there's Solomon Tundo, who's an agronomist and a dairy management consultant. Thank you for making time, among more than 200 dignitaries who are here to run this conversation on our citizens getting value for their money. And that's exactly where we start. And I'll start with Dr. Mbai, who's here, just to give us a view of what he thinks. Of course, my colleague Evans Asiba is also here with me to run this session as we speak about, are the citizens getting value for their money? Dr. Mbai, I'll start with you. Just stand where you are.
Thank you very much, yes. Trevor. I'll be very brief because we have others who are here.
Yes.
I'll do it in two levels. The county government level and the national government level, because it's presented here. One, are we getting value? Trevor, we have a crisis in terms of county government management. We have the only hospital, Nakuru War Memorial Hospital, which has been closed for 3 years. 9 court orders have said open it fast. The issue is about who owns the land. The county government went to the Court of Appeal. The Court of Appeal said, before I hear this thing, people are suffering, open it, not yet opened. Now, this is a cause, what we are calling impunity in this city. And now, what's happening is that when the senator of Nakuru asks questions about the hospital, about buildings built on Laidway's land, the governor has taken her to court. Now, look at this. The governor, who has defied 9 court orders, is seeking refuge in the same judiciary. We want to request the CJ to take notice of that and ask, if you don't have faith in judiciary, why are you coming to the judiciary? Now, I'll be very brief. Okay. Trevor, we have a place where this is a city. It's a city because it's supposed to operate 24 hours with 24 hours of lighting, potholes and all that. We have a problem of lack of capacity to govern in the county of government of Nakuru. Trevor, people are forced to contribute money to go to court against their own governments. Okay. There is the issue of Kiwajadege, owned by the county government. People are being evicted. Okay. There are many issues happening. NYS was supposed to be given money to go and do roads here. It's like the county government is not capable of doing the roads. Let me pause there now. There are 311 accounts, illegal. Okay. Fragged, we don't know. Now, let me be very, because I don't want to take much of time, to ask 3 questions to the DG. DG, now, let's go to the national issues. Very quickly, if you don't mind. Now, there was a cabinet resolution to clear everybody from Laidway's land last time. I don't know, and people are chased away. Some people died and collapsed because of the losses all the way in Nakuru and Naivasha. Now, then this government comes, and people very powerful in government are taking, Laidways are giving themselves a lease of 45 years and 50, putting up permanent buildings. Tell us what happened. Is it fair? So that the ones who are demolished area can go to court and get compensation. Now, very quickly, Lanette Airport. We have been waiting for Lanette Airport until now. What we know, government money was spent, 700 million. Part of which was paid to the contractor who finished the work. The airport was supposed to be commissioned in November 2022. But when this government came, please tell us, DG, what happened? Money was paid from Treasury, and we don't have that. Very quickly, Itaredam, tell us what happened. And please, do you know, DG, that there are no designs for distribution of water to Kuresoi South and North in the Itaredam? So what will happen? And finally, I'll finish with Rironi. Now that you are here, finally, tell us, is there a contract? 2, what was the initial money for French? What is the current money, because we are not sure? What, was it necessary to pay the 6 billion and why? Okay. Kindly answer those questions because it's important, and so that you can be able to move from there. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Mbai. Yes, Asiba, continue. So, DG, I hope you're recording the question so you'll respond when the time comes.
Thank you very much. My name is Karanja. Maybe I have very few questions. Number one, to DG. Number one, Kenya's debt currently, as we are talking now, is 12.29 trillion. And you know, what you are calling service delivery comes out of the money that we collect and the money that we get from grants. Now, if our, Kenya's debt is 12.29 trillion, as we are speaking now.
Yeah.
And out of that, we have 5.6 trillion external, and we have also 6.8 that is domestic. When we mean domestic, we mean that any other person cannot go borrowing in a bank because you have already choked the banks. So the Kenyans who want to pay tax cannot do so because you have already taken the money that they are supposed to take. Out of that, you also see that we have increased that debt to 4%. We are asking, where is the money going? Number two, when you check at the money that is now remaining, the State House is having a budget of 17-point-something billion, more than the county government of Nakuru is getting in terms of equitable share. And the State House is not a company. Nobody is, and the State House is a home for somebody. How do we have that one and compare that? And lastly, when we compare now the debt servicing and what we have in Nakuru also because they are here, we have a budget of 22 billion. Out of the 22 billion, we have 4.132 billion as debt. Out of that debt, the current, and that's why we are saying that Kenya is being eaten like small. Small. People are eating. Out of that, the current is 2.3 billion. The current, in terms of that, and out of that, we have 800 million in terms of legal. Where do the, and out of these lawyers, nobody has a file that I went to court because of this. Now we are asking. And permanent, if you take that and then remove the permanent, those people who are paid, because compensation to employees, it is 7.1 billion. That is the permanent. Now, when you add, you get that the money that we get from national and from county, all of them is being taken not for development, because even in that development, the debt is only 493 billion.
As a representative of the people, Mr. Karanja, have you seen anything that is working? Because you raised the concerns, but is there anything that's working?
Yes. Something is being done, which I'm saying it is small because it is assisting in eating. You see, you do small, you have a big spade. And the smaller spade is people are eating with the big spade.
What is that small thing? But they are giving you the
small spade.
What is that small thing that you think is working?
So the only thing that we can say, we have been talking about what Bai has talked about, the Rironi.
The Rironi Summit Road.
But when you check at that now, Rironi, because it is good because it will improve business and the rest. What we have seen that the Chinese are doing that. Can't our army do that? The Maram is ours. Tractors are ours. We only want to bring a white person to come and do that. So that
so you don't have a problem with the project, you have a problem with the person doing the project.
The biggest problem in Kenya is meritocracy, where we have people who have never gone to school ruling those who went to school. That's the problem in Kenya. People with the smaller brains. People with the smaller brains trying to muzzle people with big brains because they have money, and that money cannot be actually, most of the money is through corruption. We want to go the Chinese way, where if people have been caught stealing, like that money that treasury was releasing as if it is releasing a river. That's what we are saying. These people should be shot.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa. Let me hear what Solomon has to say. Solomon is here. He already has a microphone. Solomon, you're an agronomist yourself. Are you getting value for your money, especially in the agriculture sector?
Thank you, Trevor. As we speak now, I've been in the village, and most of the farmers are suffering a lot. We are only requesting the government. We had a program called the registration of farmers so that they can receive the subsidized fertilizer. But if you go to the NCBB, some big fish come there with the lorries, and the common farmers are not receiving the fertilizer. And also they are not receiving the voucher. We are asking those in charge, how are you going to help these farmers to acquire the fertilizer? The fertilizer is meant for farmers, not for the big fish.
Okay, so now that you're still there,
Yes.
why aren't they getting the fertilizer? Is it because they're not registered? Is it because they go there and they are denied the bags of fertilizer? What happens?
Most of them are not registered.
Why aren't they registered?
That's the fault of the government.
Why?
Because
Because you're supposed to register yourself, right?
Yes.
Is it the fault of the local administration that are not reaching the farmers, or what is it?
The issue of registration is a directive from the government. And the local administration, that's through the assistant chief, the chief, they should all engage the farmers.
Okay.
Call for a baraza. Call for that person who is registering to do the registration. But we have an issue there where some big fish, when they go to the NCBB, they say, I have 100 acres of land. But in real sense, even the person doesn't have even one acre of land. Then they fail all the fertilizers, leaving those farmers who are able to farm, having nothing.
So what I'm trying to understand here is that the fertilizer is available.
Yes.
The farmers are not registered.
Yes.
Why aren't they registered? Because that's the part, that's your duty. As a farmer, you should register, right? Are you registered yourself?
Myself, I'm registered.
Have you gotten fertilizer yourself?
Yes, I have gotten.
So you've gotten fertilizer?
Yes.
Okay. So what is the problem with the other farmers you're saying have not gotten?
The other farmers have not received.
Why? Are you a connected person yourself?
Not connected.
Okay, you're not connected.
Yes.
You're an ordinary farmer who has gotten the fertilizer.
Yes.
And you're registered.
Yes.
So then why are you saying it's only people who are registered and the big fish are the only ones getting fertilizer? I'm trying to understand what the issue is. I'm not putting you on the spot. I'm just trying to understand that if the fertilizer is there, why aren't the farmers getting it?
The issue here, Trevor.
Yes.
When registration was on, some farmers did not receive the information.
Okay.
Yes. The information was to passed by the area chief or the assistant chief. But
how did you receive the information?
Because I'm a digital farmer.
Okay.
Yes.
So you got yours on your phone?
Yes.
And the other farmers don't have phones?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Solomon. Okay, let me hear. Yes, Asiba, go ahead.
Thank you very much. My name is Andrew Komen, a director at Nakuru Water. And first, on behalf of the county government of Nakuru, I would want to welcome the panelists and everyone here tonight for this show. For me, first, to the Treasury. And now that we have the National Infrastructure Fund, here in Nakuru, we've had a project that is stuck. We have water. We have an infrastructure line that is supposed to be constructed between Chemususu and Nakuru. And it's taken a while because we've tried to access funds for over 10 years. And now we require about 2.6 billion. So where do we come in as a county to try and access these funds? That is number one. Number two, we've had challenges since the beginning of this financial year when Treasury came up with a EGP, and in the first 6 months of this financial year, procurement became a challenge because of EGP. And to the lady in the house, Kenya Power, for us as an organization in the last 3 years, the cost of power has really gone up. Like here in Nakuru, we normally use underground water. 90% of the water used within the city, we normally use. We have 40 boreholes currently, and the next 1 month we'll be pumping 10 more. But we have to keep producing at 70% to try and manage our power bills. And when we've gone to the Ministry of Water, they keep telling us they've been having this interaction with the Ministry of Energy. Nothing is coming out of it. Okay. Kindly, if we could have that discussion, all right, so that we could fire all our boreholes to try and satisfy the residents of Nakuru. Thank you very much.
Remind me your name again?
Andrew Komen.
Andrew Komen, from the county government.
From the county government.
Okay, there are questions for county government from Bayet, so I'd like you to respond to that. But let's hear what DG has to say first, and then I'll give Joy a chance. Then I'll come back to the people. Yes, DG.
Thank you very much, Trevor. It's indeed a pleasure to be in Nakuru this evening to have an opportunity to interact with our bosses, the people who have employed us. So straight to the point. So we have Dr. Mbaye in the room. I think I'll start with the questions that come that he directed to the national government. So number one, I'll start with the bigger project in terms of Itare Dam and say yes. If Dr. Mbaye has read the newly signed into law National Infrastructure Fund, so what it is meant to do is to be able to help us balance our fiscal affairs. And in this regard, we are going to take out all the commercially viable projects of the budget that will allow us to then be able to create fiscal space, which is currently not sufficient, to now be able to undertake the social projects within the budget. And that will be able to create room to be able to undertake the projects which can be or don't stand to be commercially viable. In that National Infrastructure Fund again, so government is also going to get blended financing, where you can then be able to crowd in private sector investment in agricultural mitigation measures, including doing 10 mega dams. And in some of the agricultural areas, we've already identified the project in Galana Gulalu, which has already been prepared and it's ready to be developed. We have Boda irrigation scheme, which has also been prepared, and the feasibility studies have been completed. We also have the Tarda area, which has been identified for rice growing. So with now coming into force of the National Infrastructure Fund, so it will allow us to be able to undertake these projects. You talked about the railway land. Government policy has not changed. That public land remains public land. So that has not changed. When you talk about the LANET, so we will pick this up. I will be honest enough to say I do not have the information around the status of the LANET airstrip. But largely, the development of the aerospace infrastructure is also one of the key aspects that will be considered in the National Infrastructure Fund. And then maybe of course, I'm not speaking for the county government, but of course, you know, government is one at the end of the day. So I'll speak to only one matter around what you've asked the county government in terms of the use of NYS. And I would say there's nothing wrong, because you see, if you want to do roads, for example, there's nothing wrong getting services from the National Youth Service. So the NYS has a commercial wing which can undertake commercial, semi-commercial activities. So there would be nothing wrong with any of the county governments utilizing the NYS to be able to open up their infrastructure. Then I will move straight to Mr. Honorable Karanja. Thank you. So I think on Honorable Karanja, you've asked very profound questions, Honorable Karanja. So on the debt problem. And you will remember that first and foremost, you know, even the coming to power of this government was more around economic restoration, building the resilience of the Kenyan economy. This government came in 2022 when the inflation rate was 9.6%. Today, that has come down to about 4.5%. This government, in 2022, Kenya was basically just re-emerging from the shocks, what you call the external shocks caused by COVID-19 in 2020. You also had the issue of the Ukraine-Russian war, which caused a lot of challenges, or basically external shocks around supply chain constraints. And that also, beyond inflation, we also had issues to do with interest rates, which were very high, which you've talked about in terms of limiting access of financing by especially MSMEs. So that is the journey that Kenya has come through over the last 3 years. And a lot of very difficult measures were put in place to make sure that Kenya's economy gets back on track and we run a credible economy. Today, in November last year, the International Institute of Management Development based in Switzerland, which carries an analysis in terms of the performance of world economies, especially in terms of competitiveness and in terms of their ability to be able to reform their economies. Kenya made a debut in that list for the first time, and it was #1 in Africa based on those reforms, demonstrating not intents, not plans, not policies, but basically measurable outcomes of things that have been done to be able to improve the economy. Number 2, again, on the issue of the debt. We've restored the debt situation of the country. How do you measure it? Look at, at our external credit standing as a country today. There's a concurrence among the 3 large credit rating agencies, Moody's, Standards and Poor, and Fitch, that all of them have upgraded Kenya, hence restoring Kenya's external credit worthiness. We're able to manage the issue in 2024 of resolving the $2 billion debt, which had really caused a lot of vulnerabilities in the economy, where the dollar at that point was standing at an exchange of 160. Today, that has stabilized over the last 2.5 years at about 128, 129. Today, Honorable Karanja, through the use of the ASLA fund and coming up with an alternative mobile measurement tool as a tool of credit rating, 7 million Kenyans have been able to correct their credit status, and now have been able to get back to the mainstream financial sector where they can access credit. So largely in this space, and now you're now getting into the next phase of Kenya's transformation, the National Infrastructure Fund. What will this one do? So number 1, this will allow us to now be able to take up large-scale catalytic projects, which will have significant backward and forward linkages in terms of pulling up the economy. Number 2, that again, using the National Infrastructure Fund, will allow us to now reduce the use of debt in developing our catalytic infrastructure. And that is the way where we will be able to contain the issue of debt in Kenya. Okay. So this is the time when this is being addressed. Okay. Let me just 1 minute.
Briefly.
Yes, briefly. So the last one, I'll come to State House. So I think the last one, meritocracy, is a profound thing that you've put across, and it's very important. Yeah. So what is being done in that space? Today, the management, Kenyans have always complained that, we cannot just have tax and debt as the tools of developing the country. What is happening today? The investments that Kenyans have in some of the key corporations, KenGen, Kenya Power, all these other agencies, Kenyans have always complained that these places are being mismanaged by putting politicians or people who are not competent enough to run those institutions. Now, last year, there's a new law which has been signed, the Government-Owned Enterprise Act. What is that meant to do? Number 1 is to enhance governance and better management of those institutions, and make sure that they are positioned to actually make a profit and give a return to Mwananchi, so that we move away from the reliance on just debt and tax as development tools. So, and the appointment of the boards in those organizations will now be merit-based, transparent. You've got to advertise them in the papers. People apply, and you get the best to be able to join. Okay. That is what it means. Finally, come to the State House. The State House issue has always been a matter which I think maybe, unless we've not been able to explain ourselves properly. In the past, State House basically is a place where the presidency will use to host a number of delegations, and that has happened over the past. So largely, if you go and check over before 2023, you've been spending a lot of money around the tentage, putting in these dome tents and those kind of stuff, which is costing you almost 80 million every week to be able to do that. So as part of delivering fiscal consolidation, the issue was remove this from being recurrent expenditure, which has no end, put up capital expenditure, which will then take away this recurrent expenditure. Okay. And it has a payback period of about 6.5 years. It is the best decision, and I can look at you in the eye and tell you, yes, we're getting value for money. Okay. Thank you.
Let me hear what Joy has to say on this. Joy, there was a question on the cost of power raised by Andrew, but just be brief about it, because I want as many people as possible to give us their review of whether they're getting value for their money. Yes.
Okay, so thank you very much. Mr. Komen has asked a question that many Kenyans ask me all the time. Why is the cost of power so high? So there's several things that feed into it. First and foremost is the fact that Kenya Power is the customer-facing side of the energy sector. So when you get your power bill, I'm not just collecting the money to pay the power producers. I'm also collecting the money for the entire energy sector, because the other players in the energy sector do not have direct access to the clients. So for example, if somebody is producing power, like Engine is producing power, for example, for them to put up a power plant, they probably accessed a loan from an international bank somewhere, and they need to service that loan, and that is loaded on the tariff, and that becomes part of your bill. So when you look at your bill, or if you look at the breakdown of when you're buying your token, you'll realize what you're paying for power is about 50–55%. The rest of it, you're collecting levies on behalf of the rest of the energy sector. Now, we need to understand where Kenya Power is coming from. We were in a season where there was a lot of fiscal, for lack of a better word, the company was very cash constrained because of how we were doing business. So before DG here and the others at Treasury would sort of give us a bit of leeway in how much we could push government institutions. But now we are being told, look, pay up and pursue the bills or else. Because if that does not happen, let me just paint a picture. So for example, right now where we stand, national government institutions that owe us bills is almost 5 billion shillings across the country. County governments, you are something just under 7 billion shillings that we are owed by county governments. If you look at how much we have written off through the years, is 19.8 billion owed by government institutions. So we've gotten to a place, especially for government institutions now, we are being more stringent in following up the payments, because when we don't, then the rest of Kenyans have to pay to ensure that the lights remain on. So it's a difficult thing to do, but power is expensive. It's not a cheap commodity. And so in the short term, that has to be where we are. But EPRA is the one who's in charge of setting the tariff and deciding what goes in the tariff and does not. And we're going into a tariff review season in the next 1 or 2 months. I would encourage you, as stakeholders in the energy sector, turn up for the meetings when EPRA calls them and tell them this levy, remove that levy, so that we can manage what goes on the bill to the rest of the sector, because that is a conversation Kenya Power cannot have. Okay. We as the off-taker, we are given instructions by EPRA, and that's how we bill you. Okay. So if you get that into EPRA and EPRA able to mitigate it, then maybe it will help with the bottom line. All right.
Chimwani, you want to jump in before I give Asiba a chance? Asiba, take at least 10 reactions, because I can see very many hands up. Please be brief. When you get the microphone, be brief so that we get as many as possible. Yes, Chimwani.
So mine is just a really quick one. Yeah. To my friend who's in agribusiness.
Yes, Solomon.
If you want to do self-registry, there's a USSD code. So you cannot say that you need a smartphone to register for the fertilizer. The code is *616*3#. But I do understand where he's coming from, because being a farmer, I've also faced the same problems in the village, where farmers do say they have a problem with accessing the subsidized fertilizer. And the biggest issue that from my village, what I've had people complain about has been with regards to the fake fertilizer that was in circulation a few years ago. So what happened was, that was a really big sensationalized story, and there was no real follow-up regarding what happened after it was uncovered. So then you need to understand, there is agribusiness and there's a subsistence farmer. The subsistence farmer does not have the capacity with his wallet to get burnt a second time. So whenever these things come up, it's like, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
So that's something that we need, like when we have corruption cases like those that are handled that actually affect the village, the Mwananchi, it needs to be like as sensationalized as the story that was broken.
Yeah. So would you say that you're getting value for your money yourself?
Myself?
Yeah, because you're a farmer and I know you also run a Cube Studio KE.
From the digital perspective, that's a different conversation. From the digital perspective, yes and no.
Okay.
From farming, there is with the subsidies. So that one, yes. Digital, it's a different conversation altogether.
Why?
You will find that when it comes to the digital setting, most of the programs that we have are geared towards getting jobs on Fiverr, things like those. It's not really geared to the global shift in the market right now. So when, for example, I run a virtual production studio, we are setting up in Kenya currently. It's I'd wager first of its kind, right? You will find when we need someone who can run an Unreal Engine, it's something for like if we need to make designs and all, we'll use the Unreal Engine. Getting someone in Kenya, I believe I only found one, and he works at Gabantu Studio. That's the only one we got. So whenever we need someone to do such things, we have to look outside, and that's an issue.
Okay. All right. Asiba, take at least 10 reactions. And we now start to move to the other sides as well, to the back. Yes, sir. Be brief, Tafadhali, so that we get as many as possible.
Thank you, Trevor. My name is John.
You're getting value for your money, sir.
My name is John Kihagi. I'm the CEC in charge of lands, physical planning, housing and urban development, Nakuru County government. And I just want to address a few issues. The one raised by Dr. Mbaye about the War Memorial Hospital. That was a classical example of a land grab. And it's unfortunate that many people have not understood the whole issue of War Memorial. We may not mention too much about it because the matter is in court. There are 3 court cases. But just to put it in record that the governor has not disobeyed any court order. There is no court order that the governor has failed to. There is a committee formed by the Court of Appeal that was tasked to open the hospital. But the committee, for its own reason, has found it difficult to open the hospital because of financial management and other issues. So it's not true to say that the governor has refused to open the hospital. She was not tasked to do that.
Okay.
The other issue is that it's a complex matter, and it is going to go into history when it's finally determined, because there are criminal aspects. There is a criminal case.
Yeah.
There are also 2 civil cases regarding that matter. Okay. So it's not a matter that can be trivialized and just be put that the governor has refused to. Okay. We should let justice prevail. We should let the justice take its own course, and finally we are going to know the matter. There's a government hospital there called Provincial General Hospital Annex, and there's a private hospital called the War Memorial Hospital. Okay. So let's give the courts the issues. I support Director on the issue of land commercialization, because Kenya Railways has been bastardized for commercializing its land. Any student of history will know that Kenya Railways, and initially East African Railways, was the largest landowner in this country or in this region. And they have tracts and tracts of land that are not actually being used. So in matters of maybe rationalizing our land use, the government has come up with a land commercialization program, whereby Kenya Railways and any other government agency is allowed to lease out its land to private developers, and thereby get money that can also revive our. So it does not benefit anybody if Kenya Railways, Kenya Airways, Kenya Ports Authority, or even Kenya Airports Authority has tracts and tracts of idle land that are not being utilized. So we take cognizance of the fact that our developers are being bastardized. We've even had some people say they are going to demolish their hotels, and we don't take that for granted.
Thank you, Waziri. Thank you. Let's get some reactions from the other people back there. And Asiba, let's keep it to the people now. Let's make the people speak more than the officials. Let's move away from the front line, go to the back where the people are now. Yes.
Good evening. My name is Zipi Wamboi, the CCM in charge of the Department of Education, ICT and Public Communication. One, I would like to respond on the issue of agriculture. I'd like to say that we have 17 collection points for fertilizer in the county, with 2 newly opened at Kiambogo and Karunga areas of Gilgil, and we have another coming up at Maunarok, Naishi Center. So, and registration of farmers for collection of fertilizer is an ongoing process. We have agripreneurs on the ground, and we also have agricultural offices whereby farmers can go in anytime and get registered. Okay. I'm a farmer myself, and I'm a beneficiary of the program.
Thank you, Waziri.
Yes. Okay. To mention
to the back, tafadhali. Yes, move the mics to the back now.
Thank you.
Yes.
Of the 300 bank accounts that was raised by Mheshimiwa wa Mariamu, I would like to say that 71 of them are for vocational training centers, 33 are special fund accounts, and we have 207 which are for the health facilities spread across the county. And Trevor, I would like to say here that each of these accounts serves a legitimate and legally recognized purpose, and they are in line with the PFM Act.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Move to the back now. Let's hear from the people back there. Let's hear from the people at the back.
Niko na microphone kwa sasa.
Yes.
Niwe kwa upupi niseme kwamba
yes, sir.
Kuhusu mimi ni mkulima mimi mwenyewe. I'm Reverend Mutai from Njoro. Mimi ni mkulima. Leo nimekuwa kwa shamba asubuhi. Kesho bado niko kwa shamba. Registration ya fertilizer ilifanywa kwa njia nzuri zaidi, ya kwamba kulingana na hectarage enye uko naye unaandikishwa kulingana na shamba lako vile iko. Okay. Kule kwetu kuna mtu kama mimi nalima kama eka 10. Kuna mwenye analima eka 50, eka 100, okay, eka 300. Hata watu ya fertilizer waliwahi kuja kwetu kuchunguza kama ni kweli huyu mtu analima eka 300. Tulitembea tukahakikisha analima hizo acres. Okay. Shida yenye hiko ama kile ningehitaji ni kwamba fertilizer ipelekwe mpaka kwa level ya ward, vile waziri amesema, isukumwe ifikie mwananchi pale kwa ward, kwa sababu ukiangalia saa hii fertilizer ziko hapa Nakuru, fertilizer ziko pale Njoro, fertilizer ziko pale Helbagon, fertilizer zinapatikana kwa sasa na haina changamoto kama zile ya miaka ingine. Okay. So hivi to my brother, mimi ni mchungaji. Kuna mtu unaweza mwambia Yesu alifufuka, anakuambia sijui kama hata alikufa. So saa zingine tuendeni direct kwa yule anajua kuhusu ukulima na ni mkulima mwenyewe.
Asante.
Kuna watu wanaishi kwa nyumba ya kukomboa, ajui analima wapi na anakuelezea fertilizer.
Asante Reverend. Yes, at the back.
Aya, kwa majina mimi naitwa John Rukwa, mkaaji wa Molo. Namba 2, nikipita tu kwa mbio, bado mimi ni mkulima, ninapata fertilizer in time. Both national government and county government wamenisaidia. Ya pili, issue about business, especially here in Nakuru. Tunataka kushukuru Governor Susan. Tangu apate uongozi wake, Nakuru town tunafanya biashara 24/7.
Asante.
Go and ask hawkers.
Thank you, John.
It is my time.
Yes.
Wataruhusu niongee. Ya pili, DG ambia rais asanti. Okay. Nyota fund vijana wetu wanapata.
Okay. Thank you. Asante John. Yes sir. Asante John, tuko sawa. We agreed we are keeping this very strict, not political conversations. Yes sir.
I'm Dickens from Egerton University.
Sorry,
I'm Dickens from Egerton University.
Yes.
And I'm here to address the voice of the voiceless, the youths and the comrades. So the government introduces a new means testing funding model for the university, the technical vocational education and training. But this, you see, this funding model, however much it's here to help the comrades, it is submerging us into inner depths of sorrow and trouble and trauma. Because you find that we have the help that is there. And the help, as students, each university has got its own framework, its own statutes on when it's closing the portal. But when the university wants to close the portal and you are texting the help application loan board, and it's telling you I've disbursed your fees, the fees was disbursed last week, but it's taking a month to reflect in your account. What is this leading to? You are being deferred. What does deferment mean? You are going home for 1 year. 1 year. because of help, because of comrades, because of help.
Okay.
Something that is not in our control.
Okay.
So what is the essence of this? What is the essence of the funding
that the
model?
money is there, but it takes a while to reflect.
It takes, actually, it really causes so much. It's not even there.
Okay.
Yes.
Sawa. All right. Yes, Asiba, continue. At the back as well.
Okay.
Get all representation.
Mimi naitwa Daniel. Naitwa Daniel Mwangi, mkazi wa Bahati. Mimi nitaongea mambo.
Tutulie tafadhali so that we get as many people as possible. Kindly be brief. The question is, are you getting value for your money?
Naitwa Daniel Mwangi, mkazi wa Bahati constituency. Mimi nitaongea mambo na affordable house. Nimeona phase 1 na phase 2 pale Bahati. Na vyenye nimeona phase 1 na phase 2 pale Bahati kwa sababu imejengwa. Hii government isema ni ya watu wa boda na mama mboga na mama vua. Sasa katika ununuzi wa zile nyumba ni 5 million. Swali langu ni je, mama mboga atapata 5% ya 5 million wakati gani? Mtu wa nduthi atapata 5% ya 5 million lini? Na mama mvua atapata 5% lini? So kwa sababu hiyo kitu ni 5% kwa mtu ambao ni civil servant na mama mboga na mtu wa nduthi na mama vua, nilikuwa nauliza hao watu wamepewa 20% na serikali tuliambiwa ni yao. Nilikuwa naulizaje, kuliko wapewe hiyo 20%, si wapewe 20% alafu irudishwe chini kutoka 5% iwe 1% kwa mama mboga na mtu wa nduthi na mama vua, ili pia nao wawe na sehemu katika hizo affordable house.
Okay.
Asante sana.
Yes. There's a lady standing there. Yes, tafadhali.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, go ahead.
My name is CPA Mary Njoroge, the chair Central Rift ISPAC. Ours as professionals, we want to appreciate especially the Senate Public Accounts and the investment committees, that they are now up to date in looking at the financial statements of counties and the national government. But we are appealing that the recommendations that are being given by these committees, including the assemblies, the county assemblies, finance committees, are they being followed up? Do we have a tracker? Or do we also, escalate these Mwananchi engagements to have these queries or these recommendations read to us so that even the Wananchis can understand what the Auditor General has been talking about? Because all these issues revolve about what the Auditor General has talked about. But implementation and follow-up has been an issue. And we would also wish that together with the COB, the OAG, they should be working together. The issues we are hearing here of the budget was increased. The PFM is very clear how the budget should be reviewed. Okay. If it is not a matter of emergency, then we should be told what triggered the increase in the budgets. Okay. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Let's take a quick break now first. We have to take a quick commercial break. And then when you come back, I'll give you a chance as well to still continue giving your views. Just hold on 1 second. I'll come back with you. We have to take a quick commercial break. We're back in just a short while.
Unataka kuwin ngapi leo? 2,500, 5,000 ama 50,000 Kenya shillings. Usiguess odds, changamka pale cheza. Dial *770 hash na uchague option 7. Hii ni multibet ya wajanja. System haikupei stress, inakuuliza tu maswali mbili. Uko na pesa ngapi na unataka kushinda pesa ngapi? Hapo AI system inachambua magame na inakupangia mkeka moja safi ya kukufikisha kwa hiyo 5k. Dial *770 hash. Wekelea stake uamoke teke. Usihangaike kutafuta team. System inasotio shughuli chap. Dial *770 hash leo. Usistress, cheza. Not for persons under the age of 18. Gambling can be addictive. Cheza is authorized and regulated by BCLB under license number BK 000085.
part of the same story. We are Broadways.
Broadways bread, a heritage of quality, baked with heart since 1958.
It's just a party. It ain't no ring. All my ladies dancing, sing, just shake it, shake it, shake it.
اللهم إني لك صمت وبك آمنت وعليك توكلت وعلى رزقك أفطرت. آمين.
Kibao kila wiki na Carrefour. Enjoy Mumia Sugar White 2 kg at 275 shillings. Assorted Coca-Cola soda spent 2 liters at 149 shillings. Bon Cooker at 35,695 shillings. And LG Fridge 266 liters at 63,995 shillings. Deals kibao kila wiki na Carrefour.
2026 itaweza. Timiza ndoto zako mwaka huu. Jinue na Absa unsecured personal loans za hadi 12 million shillings. Pata nyumba na Absa home loans from just 9% per annum. Au ujichukulie gari lako with up to 100% car financing. Isitoshe, say yes to more rewards with an Absa credit card. SMS loan to 22268 na utakuwa sorted. Absa, your story matters.
Try and talk to her and you know that Chris was trying to ruin me. I can't cheat on your mother.
And welcome back to the Monday Report Town Hall Session. We're still live in Nakuru County at the Bontana Hotel. It's a Sauti Mwananchi inaugural series. We'll have quite a number of them where people speak about their views in terms of governance, politics, everything in between there. But the question we're asking tonight, are citizens getting value for their money? Yes and no. Yes and reason. No and reason. That's the conversation we're having right now. Let's go back to the people again and hear from them. Keep it under a minute, Afadhali. Stand, state your name. Where are you, Asiba, with the microphone? Yes, ma'am. You have the microphone back there.
I'm popularly known as Muna in Nakuru County. My mother and father call me Maimuna Mwenye. I reside in Nakuru Town East. I want to talk about governance and anti-corruption. First and foremost, I acknowledge that EACC has really tried as much as possible to ensure that they've investigated and arrested people who have issues of corruption. However, the reality that Kenya still loses a huge amount of public funds through mismanagement and corruption according to the Oversight Institution and audits. And at this point, I want to ask, what concrete action is the government taking to prevent state capture and strengthen accountability, high-level corruption, despite 86% recent convention? How will government address high-level corruption and recover the estimated Kenya shillings 1.1 trillion lost annually to mismanagement and inefficiency?
Thank you, Maimuna.
Before I finish, the reason why we are talking about corruption issues, as you can see, Nakuru is a city, but we are still facing issues of insecurity. Why? Because of corruption. So we want to get to know how we're going to conquer this so that Nakuru can have a secure city, not just a city by name.
Okay, thank you, Maimuna. Yes, the microphone is still back there. Yes, ma'am.
My name is Fatma Mohammed. I'm a citizen of Nakuru, and as a taxpayer, we pay taxes to hospitals so that we can get healthcare services, and the medicines should be available. But too often, a patient will be told to go home, will be told to buy medicine outside. So the question I ask is, are we really getting the value for our money?
Okay.
And I've not finished yet. Sorry.
Time. Keep it at 1 minute, please, Fatma.
Okay. Government service delivery must have affordable, reliable, and accessible healthcare.
Okay.
So my question is, a mother who is told to go and buy medicine outside, is she really getting the value for her money?
Okay. Yes. Where's the microphone back there? Continue. Yes.
My name is Matthew Lesanjo.
Yes.
My name is Matthew Lesanjo, representing the digital transport sector. Now, someone actually said that this county right now, it is actually operating 24 hours. I can honestly tell you, as a person who operates the transport sector almost 24 hours, this is a dead town past 7 a.m., past p.m. Zero. And for talking on behalf of the drivers in this particular room, you know how much the cost of maintaining vehicles has been, courtesy of the potholes in this particular town. It's highly unfortunate when someone would actually stand up and lie that we are actually living a comfortable life in Nakuru. Nakuru residents are actually suffering courtesy of poor service delivery. That is actually the fact.
Okay. Thank you.
My name is Anton Maina, former chairman Naivasha Market, na nasimama kama mfanyabiashara. Nikiongea kuhusu wanabiashara wadogo wadogo, sisi tuna kitu ya kusema, hii serikali haijatuangusha sana. Kwa sababu mambo ya market imetujengea soko mingi, na pia wakati gari zirudi town, biashara zetu ziliweza kuinuka. Jambo la pili, niko pale soko na Naivasha Market iko na watu zaidi ya 5,000. Iko na vijana zaidi ya 2,000. Wengi hakuwa na kazi. Niko na vijana zaidi ya 100 ambao walipata pesa ya Nyota Fund na imeweza kuwasaidia. Mambo ya crime wameachana nayo. Kitu kingine, county government ya Nakuru already inalipia watu 30,000 student, 30,000 per student kwenda kwa vocational training centers, na kila student analipiwa 30,000. Jambo lingine, county government ya Nakuru pia iko na wezesha fund ambayo pia imewezesha wafanyabiashara kujikuza hapa town.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Time is up. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Trevor.
Yes.
My name is Frank Pesa. I'm a student leader from Egerton University. And my question is this. Please. My question is this. The government is currently launching the Mau Summit Rironi Highway, a multi-billion project. Why would they prioritize that if patients are still sharing beds at PGH? Why would they prioritize that? Lastly, DG, I have comrades here from Egerton University. The help has not been disbursed. How do you want us to survive? Please, before you give us the road, give us what to eat, and then look for our health. Thank you.
Okay. Yes.
I'm Boda Nation from Egerton University. I want to appreciate that the government has tried very well to get us Talanta Stadium. There is a trend in this country that the youths are being used as a solution, that you want to manage the youths. Please, the youths are not problems to be managed. The youths are people who have minds that we only need to be listened to and to be trusted. Okay. We have the Talanta Stadium. Is it, the Auditor General stated that there is 10.85 billion that is unexplained money. Is there any business we can do in this country, any project we can do without corruption? That corruption is the only demeanor that we are talking about. In county government, corruption. National government, corruption. Can we be serious in this country?
Okay, thank you. Yes, kindly get someone to PWD. There's a PWD representative here. Kuna PWDs wawili hapa tafadhali. Asiba, let's get persons with disability. At least you have 2 of them hapa hivi mbele. We have 2 of them here. Yes. And then we move to that other corner. That corner has been quiet. Yes, sir. At the back, continue. You have the microphone.
Order.
Yes.
Hello. Bwana Triva.
Kwa majina yangu ni Joseph Thuo.
Hold on 1 second. Joseph, ngoja kidogo. Joseph, ngoja kidogo. Let's start with the PWD. Yes,
Bwana Triva.
Yes, sir.
Kama kuna mahali serikali imejaribu tunasema.
Yes.
Na kama kuna mahali wamefail tunaongea. Kwanza Triva, unajua tuko kwa National TV. Issue to do with the subsidies fertilizer ni sisi wananchi wa Nakuru tulikataa kuregister. Mimi am a registered farmer, a PWD. Last week, 2 weeks ago, nilienda kuchukua fertilizer yangu pale National Cereal and Produce Board. Ni ya kwamba message ilikuja December 27th. I have a message here. But sasa sisi tumezoea kulia sababu serikali ni mbaya ama ya county ni mbaya. Ile swali langu kwa subsidized fertilizer Umbija nataka kuuliza hapa national government ya kwamba it is subsidized, si ndio? Na unaelewa ya kwamba walemavu wanafaa kupata fertilizer free of charge, true or not? Tunasema ya kwamba tunaenda Singapore. Si tuende Singapore ya kwamba Singapore wanapea walemavu zao fertilizer free of charge. Kwa nini hapa Kenya tunaongelea Singapore na bado tunachajiwa fertilizer?
Okay.
Swali lingine Umbija.
Yes.
Ni ya kwamba in terms of contractors, tenders. Sisi walemavu ndio tunateseka zaidi kwa tenders, both national and county government. Sisi tunaambiwa tunaweza pewa tu ya supplies ya 20, 30, 40,000. Na hata ukipewa inakaa ya kwamba inachukua muda zaidi. Kama ya kutengeneza barabara ama hizo za milioni hatuwezi pata. Mimi nauliza bwana DJ, kama wewe kweli you are a human right defender na una defend the rights of persons with disabilities who are in tenders and also have the AGPO certificate, what are you doing to safeguard these individuals?
Okay.
Yes,
there's another one here as well. Yes, hapa katikati. No, Asiba, here. There's another one there. And then now you move to this side. Yes, sir.
Asante kwa nafasi hiyo. Bwana Trevor, sisi kama walemavu, swali lako ambalo umeuliza kama tunayo faida ya pesa zetu. Kwanza kabisa katika katiba yetu, ibara ya 10 na 233 imetilia mkazo mambo ya kuhusisha umma wakati wa mipango na utekelezaji wa miradi ya maendeleo. Ni kupitia pale ambapo sisi walemavu siku hizi hatupitii daraja ama vivukio vilivyojengwa kwa bao kuukuu, bao ambazo zilikuwa zinayumba, tunatembea pale hobela karibu tuanguke kwenye maji. Ukienda Waseges kunayo daraja ya Kavililia. Ukienda pale Elementaita kunayo daraja ama kivukio ambacho kimewekwa vizuri sana, kinaitwa Kilo. Ukienda upande wa Begi, upande wa Moridat kunayo daraja ambayo imejengwa vizuri mno. Sisi walemavu tunafurahia jambo lile na tunaona faida na hadhi ambayo tumerejeshewa na vipitio vile. Vile vile katika kaunti yetu ya Nakuru, na kunao baadhi ya walemavu walio mahala hapa, hamna yeyote ambaye analipa kodi ama ada ya biashara kwa sababu ya uongozi bora. Asante.
Okay. This side, let's hear at least 6 people here. Hapo kanda yako Asiba. Yes.
Hello Mr. Trevor. Majina yangu ni Joseph Thuo na mimi ni chairman pale Top Market na nimekuja kuongea hapa kwa niaba ya masoko, kwa niaba ya masoko ya Nakuru, kwa sababu saa hii biashara ya masoko haifanyiki na tulikuwa tukifanya biashara vyema sana wakati wa zile serikali zingine. Na nataka kusema kwamba wakati ambapo our president alipokuwa kipiga campaign alisema kwamba eti hii serikali itakuwa ya mwananchi wa chini, na hii mwananchi wa chini wanaanza sokoni, na kila mmoja wetu hapa anajua biashara sokoni. Sasa tumekuja kufungiwa biashara zetu kwa sababu saa hii kina mama hawawezi uza mali yao kwa mahoteli kwa sababu KRA wameintroduce hii invoice yao ambayo inaitwa ETIMS na ETR. Kwa hivyo mahoteli saa hii wamama hawauzi na wamefinyika sana pale. Hizo biashara zimechukuliwa ni wale wakubwa, zimetoka sokoni kwa sababu ya ETIMS. Sasa hatujui ni vipi ilifika kwamba ETIMS itaintroduziwa kwa mama mboga, na ati ukiuza cabbage, ukiuza sukuma lazima uandike invoice ambayo ni ya KRA. Kwa hivyo biashara zimerudi chini pale, na ningeuliza serikali kwa sababu ilikuwa kwa finance bill na president alisema ameondoa hiyo mambo ya ETIMS. Saa hii imeaffect masoko na wamama wanaishi na maboga zao sokoni. Kwa hivyo ningetaka kuuliza tu ni vipi serikali itachukua hiyo hatua ndio ili tuweze kuona zile taxes zetu tunalipa zinatusaidia hata sisi wana sokoni.
Asante. Yes.
Asante sana. Basi langu jina ni Peter Wanzala, maarufu Daktari Juna Kidero. Moja kwa moja nitazungumza kuhusu mambo ya affordable housing na mwanzo kabisa ningependa kupongeza serikali kwa kuja na hiyo idea ya kuwa na nyumba ambazo ni za nafuu kwa Wakenya wote. Lakini swali langu ni hizi pesa ambazo tunasanya kama sisi walipa ushuru, Bwana DG, ningependa kujua kufikia sasa ni pesa ngapi ambazo tumeweza kuzipata na ni ngapi ambazo tungeweza kuzitumia. Kwa maoni yangu nilikuwa nafikiria labda serikali kama ni affordable housing kwa kila Mkenya, serikali ingejenga nyumba kutumia our taxes, alafu iweke bei ya hizo nyumba chini, ndio tukuwe na competition plus the private investors, kila mwananchi aweze kuafford. Pili, SHA na SHIF, ningependa kujua ni pesa ngapi ilitumika kuweza kutransform from NHIF ambayo ilikuwa inafanya kazi japo kwa changamoto ambayo wanasema ni corruption, ambayo kufikia sasa hatujaona mtu ambaye ameshikwa kwamba alihusika na mambo ya corruption. Ni pesa ngapi imetumika kuweza kurudisha pale?
Okay, asante.
La mwisho.
Malizia, yes.
Bwana CC amesema mambo ya memorial. Kama kweli gavana wetu alikuwa anatii sheria, kwa nini alikuwa anatumia goons kwenda kuvamia hospitali na kuhamisha wagonjwa?
Yes, finally, so that we get a response, I'll have to do it tena kwenu. Yes.
Kwa majina anajulikana kama Wilson Otieno.
Let the lady speak first, Wilson Wengoja. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Trevor. I'm Melvin Ochieng from Egerton University, and this is my question. How does the government implementation on the social health insurance fund ensure that all citizens receive value of their money by balancing financial sustainability, equity, and healthcare delivery while using the robust technology? Because let me give an example of SHA. We are being told that healthcare facilities is free, but when you go there, you are going to be forced to pay some cash. For example, let me give an example of myself. There's a time I was sick, but then when I went to the hospital, during my discharge, I was forced to pay my admission fee. So why do you say it's free, but then when you go there, things are different? Thank you so much.
Did SHA cover anything for you? Let her answer the question.
Jina langu ni Johnson Dimo.
Wacha jibu swali kwanza.
Acha nijibu swali.
Wacha jibu kwanza.
Acha nijibu.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Did SHA cover anything?
Yeah, thank you so much. To be honest, it covered just part. Okay. Because most of the medicine, I think it was around 9,000. Okay. I was there for 3 days.
What was the total bill?
It was around 11,000.
So 11,000 and 9,000 was covered by SHA.
Yeah, but then let me finish.
Let her finish, tafadhali. Let her finish. We had agreed this is an open mic session. Let the lady finish. Let me finish.
So
the bill was 11, no, SHA covered 9.
I also had to buy some medicine from outside.
That's okay.
Yeah,
but the bill was
5,
11, SHA covered 9.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had to cover 2,000.
That's not my point.
Okay.
This is what I mean. My total bill was 11,000.
Okay.
But then I paid around 5,000 because it included the admission fee.
Okay.
So I personally paid 5,000.
Okay.
So SHA covered around 7,000. So my question
7 or
is
9? 7 or 9? You said 9 first.
No, not 9. Not
Okay.
9.
Okay.
Yeah, I paid 5,000 out of 11. I also bought medicine from outside.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. All right. Thank you. Let's hear the reactions first, then I'll come to you. And Charles, I'll start with you. You have not spoken for a while since we came here. There was an issue raised about security. What can you say about that? Have we gotten value for money as a country when it comes to handling security? Tutulie tafadhali, tulikuwa tumesikizana, you just give your view because it's an open mic session. So mwananchi anasema vile mwenye anaiona, si ndio? That's what we agreed. Yes.
Thank you very much. I think Nakuru is, in terms of security, you still have a lot of challenges. Especially in the areas where you are, I think the chair KPLC is here, where you are interfering with all your transformers and the street light and all that. But there is a bigger problem with the gangs and the goons and all that. But when it's come to money being spent for security services, first of all, I would like to say that although we have some challenges with police in this country, majority of those officers are doing a very, very good job. And including the chiefs, if you have a few chiefs here, if you have assistant chiefs here, they're doing a very, very good job at your community level. But there are a lot of reforms being put in place to make sure that we implement a security agenda for the country. Where you are getting value for your money, I can tell you, is this. A lot of your MPs have invested a lot in your local police stations, and I think we've had a lot of counties and constituencies come to Nakuru. I think one of the model is Kaptembwa police station, that we bring a lot of people to study how the partnership between your CDF money and police station and all that. We are now seeing the police population ratio going to 1 to 800. That means that for every 800 citizens, there is one police. But where, Trevor, they are not getting value for their money is that there are 1 or 2 people, wale wakubwa, them they have 6 officers, but 800 citizens have one officer. Mm-hmm. So I think there's one area that we need to look at and make sure that police are moved from non-core policing functions and they are brought into the community.
In your experience, what is the acceptable number? So if it's 1 police officer to 800, ideally, what is the best ratio? Is it 1 to 500, 1 to 300?
It depends with population and security challenges that you face in your area. So for example, Nakuru is okay with 1 for 800 because you notice Nakuru is also rural. So a lot of people still live in rural areas within Nakuru County. But if you look at the 11 counties, the 11 constituencies in Nakuru, the population is okay with 1 to 800. Okay. In rural areas, we go with 1 to 300 or 1 to 400. Okay. But what I know about value for money, first of all, we now know that police officers have good salaries, so they should be giving you better service. They can't say that we are not being paid well. They are being paid well at the moment. A constable right now at entry level gets about 27,000 Kenyan shillings. They used to get 19,000. So at least, please clap for them. Yes, please clap. So they're getting 27,000.
Okay. So it's an increment in as much
as... It's an increment from 19,000
to 27.
From 19,000. Yes, for police officers. It's not for everyone. Okay. Yes. Okay. So there is value for money in terms of how much resources is going. But what I need to say also is that the communities are not holding police accountable. Okay. At their local level.
Yeah.
The communities are not having meetings with their OCSs and tell them we are not happy about insecurity in our area. The neighborhood associations, community policing is not working in many parts of Nakuru County. So that's where I think they are not getting value for their money. But in terms of the investment that is being put in security sector, Nakuru is very challenging because it's also a criminal corridor from Nairobi all the way to Busia. And if you've noticed, about 70% of all the fatalities, road fatalities, happen between Rironi and Mau Summit.
Okay.
So there's a lot that needs to happen in this area.
All right. Joy, I'd like you to get a quick reaction. There's someone who raised issues about electricity connectivity in Nakuru. I don't know whether you have the figures, but you said that counties owe you a lot as KPLC. But is there anything that can be done? What is that correlation between the street lights that someone raised here and the power supply?
Actually, the street lights are a big problem because just last week I was dealing with, I think it's the Longonot area, where the street lights went off and immediately there were incidences of insecurity. And so the call was coming, we know the transformer is faulty, but we can't wait for it to be fixed. Send a transformer, because without the lights, then the gangs start terrorizing the residents. And that's why I agree with Otieno that some of these things have to be a community policing agenda, because there are parts of Nakuru that are isolated, and so if you don't have infrastructure like traffic, street lights, then there is insecurity. But now for us, if the county government is in default, for example, we're not able to disconnect, for example, the hospital. So a low-lying fruit for disconnection is street lights. So that's the first indication you'd have that your county government is not servicing that. We know they cannot pay all of it, but we always encourage, just do something, because even if you're paying 20% or 25% of your bill, we usually keep the lights on. But if you don't send anything at all, then you find a situation escalating where we have to do something so that the bill can be attended to. And this has gone on even till to the police as well. There's a time we had to switch off Vigilance House and we received a lot of backlash, but we had to tell the police, look, you're running almost 1 billion shillings in across all the police stations, do something. So once they do something small, and I would encourage county governments, prioritize just a little bit and keep the supply flowing. Yeah. Because as long as it does, then we are able to keep the street lights on. Some counties like Kiambu have gone completely solarized. People would think, okay, that's taking business away from Kenya Power, so why is there a problem? Now, because public infrastructure is public infrastructure, whichever way it is done, we are happy to support with the O&M. So even if the county government decides, let's go solar, just help us with maintenance, that is also business that Kenya Power can do. We can just help you maintain, but you mitigate your cost with solar.
All right. As I still want to take more reactions from the people, but DG, you had the bulk of the questions. Can we answer them in one line each? There was a one about Rironi Mau Summit, why that is a priority, and yet people need money, people need the hospitals working. There's another one on HELP, there's another one on AGPO, and another one on E-Teams and ETR for Mama Mboga. Can you answer them in one sentence so that we get more reaction?
Thank you very much, Trevor. I think you're spot on. I'm not going to go to the specific questions, but on theme basis, as you've already put it. So number one will be on the issue of E-Teams, which has been raised. So the issue around E-Teams is basically around revenue protection. So everyone really has to carry his equitable share in terms of payment of taxes to the public. So this is to mitigate the issue of revenue leakages. So when if Mama Mboga supplies vegetables to a big hotel like where we are in today, so basically when they put up their returns, so we need to make sure that those returns are indeed accurate and that they are paying their fair share of taxes. And all of us as citizens will need to pay our fair share of taxes so that we can develop our country. The other one, beyond E-Teams, so I think I will go now into the issue of the comrades who have talked about university funding. That is also another very important area, because if you're talking about working on the bottom-up economic model, largely education is the default in terms of equalizing or basically giving equitable opportunities to everyone. So in that regard, what the government has spent, because that is what is important, that's why we're here today, on university funding alone, the share of revenue which has been put in terms of our expenditure on university education has gone up from 45 billion to today around 82 billion to cater for more students and ensure that we have proper learning taking place in the universities. On supporting students in higher learning institutions, two things have happened in that space. Number one is the issue of now having a student-centered university funding model. which ensures that you pick critical data, what the comrades are calling a mean testing model, to make sure that you are able to ascertain the needs of every student and actually be able to now direct subsidy or basically bursaries to those who really need most. And those who can pay then either access loans or actually be able to have their households pay their fees. On the other hand, you're talking about having an equitable society. Most of the children, of course, maybe it's about 15-20%, those who go to university. What happens to the rest? So in terms of the rest of the other students, so the government is also funding the TVETs. So now we've had increased intake in TVET institutions from about shy of 300,000 in 2022 to now about 750,000, so that everyone has a place and we're able to develop human capital quite equitably and give each and every child in Kenya a chance to be able to live a productive life. Then, of course, over to universal health care, which has really been very important. So a very monumental change has happened in that particular space in terms of, number one, moving away from the regressive contribution model, which we used to have under NHIF, for example. So you remember people used to pay up to a maximum of 1,750. With the new contribution model, anyone earning up to 34,999 actually pays reduced contribution, and then those who earn above 35,000 all the way up now pay their equitable share, which keeps rising, but equitably depending on your ability to be able to pay. That affects the rest 46%, but 54% of people who are employed pay lower premiums. Today, SHA actually covers about 8 million households out of about 12 million, so which is about 70% coverage. Of course, we hear the concerns, yes, that it might not have gone 100% as we would have wanted it to be. There are still areas which need attention. But if I was to rank it, I would say yes, this has worked 8 out of 10.
Finally, there's an issue of AGPO, yes.
Yeah, finally, the issue of AGPO, and I'll combine this with the corruption question that has also been addressed in terms of proper utilization of public resources and enhancing accountability within the processes. I think that has also been a key issue that has been raised by the audience. So here, government has undertaken a number of reforms to be able to fight the issue of corruption and ensure that we are getting proper utilization of our resources. So some of these reforms, number one, we have EGP, which is basically the electronic government procurement system, which ensures that it gives equitable opportunities to everyone, ensures that you have a way of tracking and being able to ensure opportunities go to AGPO beneficiaries, women, children, people with disabilities. So that is even more enhanced using the EGP system. The other issue is we've now also moved to accrual accounting system. We've had the issue of pending bills for many years. How do we need to get away out of these pending bills finally? So to ensure we have a better fiscal discipline, now we've moved to an accrual system. So that will mean that those who have supplied government, even at the end of the accounting system, instead of having money go back to the treasury and you've already been awarded a contract, that will not happen going forward. So the issue of pending bills will then be mitigated so that we protect our businesses.
All right.
Then finally, the issue of infrastructure. What is happening within that space is to make sure
these are your
that,
questions. You're the ones who raise the questions. We give you the microphone and you raise the question.
Done in a manner that is equitable. We've all heard about the road, like say opening the northern frontier, for example, which has not happened for many years. Okay, the road from Isholo to Mandera is now part of the road network that is being opened. The road now you're talking about Rironi to Mau Summit, or even the Lapset corridor from Lamu all the way to Isholo. Why are we doing it? So the main reason is, don't just look at the road from Mau Summit to Rironi as a road, but you also need to look at the kind of beneficiaries that benefit from this. A person who is growing his vegetables in Molo here being able to access a market. That is the kind of thing that you're looking at.
Okay.
Right? Business people who will move from Nakuru to Nairobi to get their business goods. That is what you're looking at. So it's all about creating more revenue. It's about creating employment, and it's about expanding the revenue base of the country. That is what you're looking at. Thank you.
Where's the microphone? Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Kwa majina,
yes.
Kwa majina najulikana kama Wilson Otieno.
Yes, Wilson.
Mkazi wa Nakuru Town East. Mimi ningependa kuuliza viongozi wetu. Nakuru yetu ya kitambo kulikuwa na makampuni. Na kuanzia hizo makampuni zikuwe, kampuni zote zilikufa. Ukiangalia Elianto ilikufa, Evadeni ilikufa, Cereals ilikufa, kampuni mingi zilikufa. Na kitega uchumi ya Nakuru ilikuwa kwa ni makampuni. Mnatarajia watu wenye vijana wetu na watoto ambao wanasoma watapata kazi kwa makampuni gani? Hiyo ni swali ya kwanza. Swali ya pili, tunaona kwamba serikali iko na mradi mzuri sana ya kujenga nyumba za affordable housing. Miaka inapoenda wazee wanaanza kuzeeka, na ukizeeka magoti na kato kutembea mgongo inakata. Utapandaje nyumba ya ghorofa 5? Na sababu hapo ni retirement home. Lazima mufikirie sana. Kitu nyingine ningependa kusema kwamba insecurity Nakuru imekuwa ni mbaya sana. Na tunasema insecurity ya Nakuru inaletwa na viongozi wetu ambao ni wabunge ambao tunachagua na ma-MC ambao tunachagua, wameka magangs. Hao gangs wakikosa pesa wanaanza kuvamia watu. Okay. Ukiangalia kama town, kama ukiangalia street kama Kanu Street, zamani kuna fanya kazi 24 hours. Saa hizi saa moja, ukienda saa moja utadungwa na kisu na utanyang'anywa. Okay. Hapa tunasema kwamba tunatamani kwamba viongozi mtusaidie watu waende vizuri.
The CCs are here. We give a chance to respond.
Okay. Kwa majina.
Yes.
Okay, my name is Mr. Robert Makoha Wangoho.
Yes, Robert.
I'm the president of Bunge la Mwananchi, the county of Nakuru, and I'll be brief, Mr. Trevor. My concern is about the National Infrastructure Fund that was created by the government. If I'm not wrong, it was put in place, to reduce the burden of borrowing or the sovereign debt. How come we talk of using the private public partnership strategy to build the Rironi, Nakuru Road, the Busia, Kisumu, Kericho, Isibania, name them. Yet, after a period of, let's say, 30 years, we established the tolling stations along the road. Okay. Did we now come up with the National Infrastructure Fund to ease the burden on our common Mwananchi, or what will happen should those private investors toll heavily on our motorists? Okay. The last question, because I said I'll be brief. You realize that being the president of the people, I interact most of the time with the people on the ground. How do you help me? Ascertain the value of my money as a taxpayer of the county of Nakuru. If PGH hospital here, we have no security. There was a time an intern doctor by the name Lagat was found murdered outside the hospital. There is also a time last year, as an infant of 5 years, the body of that infant got lost in the morgue. How do you convince a common man like myself that indeed we are having the value of our money as the taxpayers? And lastly, very last one. When
Robert,
we go to the education sector also, if I'm not wrong, up to 700 billion was also...
You've run out of time. Yes, let's get the lady back there. Asante, Robert. Yes.
I'm Ruth Mbogwa.
Be brief, tafadhali, anza na jina.
I'm Ruth Mbogwa.
Microphone iko nyuma yako mzee. Yes.
I'm Ruth Mbogwa, Mama Mboga.
Hold on.
Mine, I can see the value of my money.
Calm down. Tulieni. Yes, lady. The lady back there, give her a chance to say something. Yes.
I'm Ruth Mbogwa from Bahati constituency. I can see the value of my money. One, through the national government and through the county government, we have been built a modern market. There before we are selling our goods on the road reserve, and that's a good thing. The only problem we are facing is the street lights and the electricity. Mulika Mwizi, what about it?
Okay, thank you. There's an old man here who's been raising his hand.
Asante Asante bwana Trevor.
Naitwa alafu uje hapa mbele, then we hear from the CEC.
Najulikana kama Shizo Mkenya, mimi ni msanii na nikiwa hapa nazungumza kwa niaba ya
tafadhali. Yes.
Nasema ya kwamba najulikana kama Shizo Mkenya, mwanamuziki wa hapa Nakuru, nazungumza kwa niaba ya wasanii sio hapa peke yake hadi Kenya. Bwana DG, nataka kujua ni kwa nini nyinyi kama national government muna under budget the creatives of this country. Article 11 of the Kenyan Constitution inasema ya kwamba culture is the foundation of this nation and the cumulative of the people of this republic. But when it comes to the Department of Culture, countrywide, budget ni ndogo. 2024-2025 mliweka only 3.05 billion na mna expect ishughulikie wasanii Kenya mzima. Ni kwa nini wasanii wanakosa hela? 2 weeks ago sisi hapa wasanii wa Nakuru tumepeleka petition yetu hapa kwa assembly. Sababu ilikuwa ni kwa sababu wasanii wa Nakuru hapa tunavyoongea bwana Trevor, kuanzia mwaka huu mpaka 2029 hawana budget yoyote. Ni zero budget. Na tunauliza ni kwa nini wasanii wanakosa bajeti? Okay. Hiyo ina maana ya kwamba kuna watu ambao wamelala kwenye kazi yao ama National Treasury ndio nini haijapeana pesa yao.
Asante.
La mwisho, Nakuru is a creative city.
Asante sana. Yes ma'am.
My name is Ann Mwedaga.
Alafu hapa mbele kwa huyu mzee tafadhali.
My name is Ann Mwedaga. I just wanted to ask 2 questions. Na nina address city manager Dabanja. What is the time frame? Because tumewaona mkiingia kwa ground leo. Sasa tunataka kujua time frame ya kutengeneza potholes na lights ni siku gani na ina commence siku gani. 2, tumeona kuna tukataimu you cannot turn ati wagonjwa kutoka PGH juu it's a government hospital. So vile muna watu wako wengi huko, mumechukua mikakati gani ku make sure other dispensaries hapa kwa county mumezi upgrade muweze kuabsorb watu? Hizo ndio maswali nataka kuuliza city manager.
City manager yuko hapa. Haya. Tafadhali allow this old man here. He's been raising his hand for the longest time. Tafadhali. Asiba hapa. So the 2 of you, then I'll come to the young man there. The 2 hapa hivi. Yes sir.
Jina langu ni Johnson Dimo Ndegwa, mwenyekiti wa informal sector county ya Nakuru. Biashara ndogo ndogo. Ninasema hivi, sisi katika Nakuru tumepata value of our money. Ya kwanza tumepata biashara zetu tukatoka kwa informal tukaenda kwa formal. Tumejengewa vibanda na CDF katika Nakuru. Hata ukitembea Trevor utaona town. Tulikuwa tunakaa kwa vibanda kwa makaratasi. Lakini sasa tumejengewa vibanda na leaders wetu kama Mheshimiwa Gikaria ametujengea vibanda kutoka hapa mpaka huko. Lazima tuseme yale mazuri ambayo tumefanyiwa. Rais wetu amefanya mazuri.
Hold on. Give him space. Okay.
Johnson Dimon.
Asante. Yes.
Bas.
And then him.
Kwa majina mimi naitwa.
Hold on. Tutulie tafadhali. Yes. Go ahead.
Kwa majina mimi naitwa Andrew Yatich, coordinator Nakuru County Peace Process. Yangu sio swali. Yangu is an observation by the great people of Nakuru County. Hii ni Cosmopolitan County ambaye tunaendeshwa kwa amani. Hii ni county ambaye makabila yote wanaishi. Swali yangu ni hivi. Kwa wale viongozi of political persuasions both sides, the leading lights, let us not incite watu wa Nakuru. Mukikuja mkuje muongee maneno yenyu na mwende. Kwa sababu Nakuru County is very, very sensitive and our tensions are slightly rising.
Asante.
They are rising.
Asante.
Na tunasema ya kwamba when Nakuru County catches a flu, inakuwa inchi inachafuka.
Asante. Yes. Now give the young man, pass the microphone to the older man in front of you tafadhali. Comrades wameongea sana. Allow the old man to say something. Allow him to say something. Yes, sir, go ahead.
Trivia, thank you very much.
Yes, yeah.
Trivia, umeuliza swali kwamba are we getting the value of our money?
Yes.
And that's why we are here. Tumekuja hapa kwa sababu tunakuja kusema kama ukweli ni kwamba we are seeing the value of our money. Mimi natoka Naivasha. Huko kwetu Naivasha, Trivia, iko barabara ambayo inaitwa South Lake. Naivasha ni inji ambaye maendeleo ile iko huko, mahoteli, Kengen na chakula yote inatoka huko. Since independence, Trivia, hatujawahi kupata barabara. Leo Trivia barabara 3 zinaendelea huko because of this government. Ngojeni niongee, mtangoja niongee. Trivia barabara 3 saa hizi zinaendelea huko, chakula itakuwa rahisi. We are getting the value of our money kwa sababu hiyo barabara ambayo inatoka yes, no, thank you.
It's okay, finish.
Security of Naivasha. Yeah. Here. Naivasha jana mlikuwa mnaona safari rally. We had a very good security. Kila mtu aliishi mahali mzuri. Wale wageni walikuja for the last 5 days na wakaenda. Vile pia soko, mahali naitwa Ndabibi. Soko tumejengewa. Soko mzuri sana. Shule inaitwa Eburu. Tumejengewa shule ya magorofa. So I am saying we are getting the value of our money through this government. Thank you.
Asante. Yes, comrade. Comrade. Tuendelee.
Hello.
Yes.
My name is Otieno Komnason.
Alafu mnipea wajamaa bodaboda na waona pia hapa.
Yeah, my name is Oko Otieno Komnason.
Say something. Tafadhali tutulie.
From the Great Egerton University.
Something. Yes.
So my concern is about the comrades. Basically the comrades. So my question is, what measures has the government put in place to make higher education affordable to all the students? For instance, Trevor, despite there being help, but after the government covering the scholarship, you get that some students are still supposed to pay 50,000 as school fees. Tell me, a farmer, all these bodabodas that we are trying to tear here, where are they supposed to get 50,000 within 5 weeks of the within the first 5 weeks of the semester? No. Another thing, comrades tunalala njaa. Pesa ya help tunaambiwa iko I don't know 82 million. DG, umesema 82 million. Iko wapi? Where's the money? Thank you so much, Trevor.
Okay. Jamaa boda tafadhali pale nyuma, then I come Trevor, to you and also get some ladies
thank
to
you.
Say something.
Let me have my opportunity.
Yes.
My name is Chebukaka and I will concentrate on the education sector and the health sector. One, in the education sector there is great underfunding. The government has underperformed and we have to call it out. One, the university funding model that came is segregating students and students cannot even appeal. I have a student who is now at home with a debt of 80,000 shillings and he's not able to go to school. The second thing in the education sector, the government committed in the budget to pay for students 22,000 shillings in secondary schools. Currently, the government is paying 15,000. Schools are underfunded, they are not able to operate. Number 3, I will now go to the health sector. People in the public sector have been deducted money on their pay slips for housing levy, for SHA, and the people are unable to manage their lives. Now, if we see that somebody can steal 11 billion in SHA, and money is getting lost in the ministry, and the president is not taking a responsibility to send the cabinet secretary home, then why are you entertaining corruption in the government?
Okay.
It is painful to ask people who are contributing. Wale watu ambao hawako employed, wenye wako self-employed, wakienda hospitali SHA, wanaambiwa walipe 6,000 shillings kabla wa access services. NHIF alikuwa akilipa 500 anatibiwa.
Okay.
So we want to make sure that hawa watu wote, everybody can access good services, because sisi wenye tunalipa ndio tunasikia uchungu.
All right. Boda. Yes, the boda guy hapo nyuma tafadhali.
Hello. Yes. Kwa majina yangu naitwa Waihenya Wabuku na mimi ni mkaaji wa hapa Nakuru, na zaidi ya yote pia mimi ni mzazi. Langu ningetaka kwanza kusema kama vile Mswahili asemavyo, asiyesikia la mkuu huvunjika guu. Na hapa mkuu ni mwananchi wa Kenya. Hakuna serikali bila mwananchi. Hakuna serikali inaweza jiweka bila kuwa na mwananchi ambaye ameichagua. Jambo la pili ninaweza kusema ya kwamba serikali majukumu yake ni kuona kwamba afya iko sawa, elimu, uchumi na amani. Lakini ningetaka kama mzazi kuongelea sana sana kuhusu elimu, ambao hawa vijana pia wanaongelelea jambo hilo. Kwa sababu kufikia sasa vile ambavyo kumekuwa hata hapa mjini, tumekuwa tukiona watoto wadogo ambao hawaendi shule katika kazi zetu tunazozifanya. Na hiyo ni kumaanisha serikali ni kama imelemewa na kazi yake. Na ningetaka kusema ya kwamba serikali wakati inakosolewa isichukue ni vita watu wako nayo, kwa sababu serikali ndio iliahidi. Mnakumbuka serikali hii ndio iliahidi ya kwamba ati itapea watu pampers na hakuna. Itapea vijana wifi, hakuna. Job kwa youth, hakuna. 50,000 job opportunities, hakuna. Hayo yote, gasi ya shilingi 300, hakuna. Sasa tukiwakumbusha wasione kama ni vita, kwa sababu sisi hatukuwa tumewauliza, wao ndio walielezea. Niseme Bwana Trevor,
yes.
Hapa mjini,
yes.
Sai hata uwezi uliza mtoto kwa nini huendi shule.
Okay.
Kwa sababu hata akienda hiyo shule, ni wangapi tunaona wazazi wa Kenya wakilia manyumbani wakiwa wamelemewa kupeleka watoto hata wale wa grade 10.
Okay.
Kwa hivyo serikali jambo hilo la elimu iliangalia, na hilo ni jukumu la serikali kufanya kazi yake.
Okay. Asiba also allow the ladies to say something. The men are grabbing the microphone.
My name is Engineer Victor Ngatia.
Allow the ladies to say something. They're all here. Tafadhali. Let's get at least 3 ladies. Tafadhali. Let's just be fair. The men are strong and you're grabbing the microphone without letting the ladies say something. Let the ladies speak.
Thank you
at
so
least
much.
3 of them. Yes.
Yeah, my name is Grace kutoka Naivasha. Ningeshangaa sana nikirudi bila kuongea. Mimi ningependa kuongea mambo ya environment. I understand that the percentage ambayo inawekwa kwa budget ya Kenya, it is so low. Kiwango ya kwamba bila mazingira ambayo ni safi, maisha itakuwa ngumu. Where I come from, without Lake Naivasha, hatuna Naivasha. It is surrounded by 5 wards out of the 8 wards in Naivasha. That indicates the population that we have in Naivasha. So, mimi ningeomba hivi. I thank the government for the initiative ambayo imekuwa ikiendelea ya kupanda miti through chiefs. Thank you very much. Congratulations. But now we are doing it at the higher upper catchment and the middle catchment. But now in Lake Naivasha, there is no restoration that is being done. So I request, or I urge the government to be able to restore the riparian of Lake Naivasha, so that we can maintain those breeding zones, because tuko na hao population kwa sababu wanatega samaki. Hiyo samaki ndio watu ambao wanauza na wanakula katika Naivasha. Kwa hivyo tukiharibu Naivasha, population ya Naivasha haitasaidika. About the Mau Summit, Rironi, that is a plus. Vijana hata kama wamekasirika na ile kukosa pesa yao, baba hawezi timiza boma 100%. Lakini ile mzuri, let us say hi.
Asante. Another lady. We agreed that we are giving the ladies a chance. All the men to just sit. Allow the ladies to speak.
Thank you.
Yes.
My name is Jane Smita Munga. Na la kwanza nataka kuongea about to answer your question. Either we are getting value of our money. Mine is yes. Number 1, tumeongezewa soko zaidi ya soko 29 Nakuru County ambazo hazikuwa. Yes, fertilizer. Mimi leo nimekuwa katika serious. Unachukua namba kutoka kwa gate, unapewa na watchman. Somebody you cannot wezi honga yule mtu. Na ukipewa namba, ile date umepewa ndio utaenda kuchukua fertilizer, na kila mtu anaregister kupitia simu yake. Na yule anashindwa kwa simu, huwa tunaenda kwa chief na tunapewa free hiyo service. Kama kuna, mimi nimelima for 27 years Nakuru. Kama kuna siku tumepata value kama wakulima, ni miaka hii miwili. Tunapata fertilizer. Kama saiki ya Mbogo, tuko na store na iko na fertilizer ndani. Tuko Ndabibi, tuko na fertilizer na iko kwa store. Twende Kiptagi, kuna store ya cooperative na iko na fertilizer ndani. So mahali serikali imefanya, tunasema imefanya, ili mahali hawajafanya pia tuseme tufanyiwe, kwa sababu pia ni haki yetu.
Okay. Asante.
Nikimaliza hapo, ngoja kidogo. Nikimaliza hapo, Infrastructure tumekuwa tukilipa pesa ya cess kama wakulima. For the first time barabara zetu zimekuwa accessible kuja kuchukua mahindi yetu katika mashamba. Na hapo awali hatukuwa tunapata.
Okay.
Tulikuwa tunalipa na iko inafika.
All right. Asante.
Tuko na lami. For the first time sisi wakulima kuna lami na watu inaenda sawa.
Yeah.
Inachukua kutoka. Kwa sababu hiyo mahindi yangu nilikuwa nauza 2000 leo nauza 5000.
Okay. Asante.
Sema hivi. Na mwisho tunikutazia. Mambo ya affordable. Wote nimalize kwa sababu ni wakati.
Yes.
Sema hivi. Mambo ya kusema
switch on a microphone, Steve.
Wacha tuelewane.
Yes.
Mambo ya kusema SHA.
Yes.
This morning my aunt.
Yes.
Katika familia tumeitishwa 160,000. SHA imetulipia 145. Nitasema SHA ifanyi kazi namna gani? Number 2, tuelewane. Mambo ya SHA, mimi nasema serikali iendelee kuchunga pesa ya SHA isikuliwe na walagai ndio iweze kufikia sisi wamama wa
Asante. Asante.
Kwa sababu acha nimalize yangu. Kwa sababu gani nasema hivyo? Yeah. NHIF nilikuwa nalipa 1000. Leo nikilipa 6000 sifanyi harambee kwa kijiji, naweza lipiwa na serikali 149.
Okay.
Wale ambao mnalalamika ni wale wa serikali ambao wako na insurance.
Okay.
Na insurance yao analipo na wanalalamika kwa sababu wanataka pesa zao, na hiyo pesa wanalipo mishahara ni tax yangu mimi Mkenya mwingine mwenye sina kazi.
Asante.
So wakatwe na tulipwe na
asante. Asante mama. Haya, wa mwisho. The last one. Last one. That's the last comment and then we finish up with the rounds of reactions. It's almost midnight. Tusikizane tafadhali. It's almost midnight. This is the last comment and then I take reaction from all my panelists as we close. It's almost midnight. Tusikizane tafadhali. Remember, this is the inaugural show of Sauti ya Mwananchi happening in Nakuru. If you guys set a bad precedence, it's not going to happen ever again. So it's you guys to decide, okay? So we've given you a chance to speak. We are agreeing. We've been given an extra 1 hour. Sit down, tafadhali. You sit down. You sit down. We've agreed here. We have had an extra 1 hour. It's almost midnight. We're getting a reaction from the lady, and then we get CECs to react very fast, and we close. Agreed? Asante. Yes. 1 minute.
Thank you. My name is Assumpta Wagoywa Muiruri, PSG, Kenya National Federation of Juakali, Nakuru chapter. Kwa value ya pesa zangu as a taxpayer, sijaona. Especially kwa upande wa security. Umesema tupigie maaskari makofi na ni vizuri. But I want to say this, and I want to just pick one case. Ya hapa Lake Nakuru. Not forgetting our resources is our future. Lake Nakuru hapa imekuwa a den of deaths. Lake Nakuru hapa tuko na case ya Brian Odhiambo. Mahali ambapo Brian alikufa kwa mikono mwa askari walinda buga, na walipoletwa hapa kotini ikasemekana wana kesi ya kujibu. That is early 2025. Ile kitu inafanya niseme pesa zetu zinatumika vibaya ni kuona wakili wa serikali akisimama kutetea watano ambao walipatikana na hatia. Sheria inasema nini? Ikiwa wewe ni mfanyikazi wa serikali na umepatikana na hatia, unasonga kando, unachunguzwa, hata upewi mshahara. Lakini kuona pesa zetu zinalipa wakili wa serikali kuja kuwakilisha watano ambao wanastahili kujibu maafa ya Brian till to date, ninafeel ya kwamba kwa upande wa security pesa zangu hazina value. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You can share the reactions among the CCs you're with. 1 minute each, tafadhali, and then we close.
In fact, I'll just touch on 2 issues, then I delegate to them. My name is Getao Banja. I'm the manager in Nakuru City, and I appreciate that the question of the street lighting, we are working on it. Is that ongoing? Street lighting is a consumable item, so we keep on improving on them. Even this week, we are giving more tender. We have also been doing some other tenders, so we continue doing that. But also, I also make a request to KPLC. Can you allow us some time to install the the solar lights on your poles, given that sometimes there are some pockets within the city that are dark, but we don't have the infrastructure, but you have the solar lights, and we can be able to do that so that we help our people. The other question is on the 24 hours economy about the city. My friend Lesajo, who is a taxi, he said he worked 24 hours, but then also said contradictory that by 7 the city is dead. So if you work 24 hours, you transport people also the 24 hours. Then I can mention a few pockets within the city that are 24 hours. Kenyatta Avenue. You go to the pipeline. You go to the KFA. You go to the opposite Golden Mall. So there are pockets within the city that are working 24 hours. And then let me state this: is a comeback given that 2022, when we had so many insecurity, the city was sleeping at 7 as we say. But now there are some progressive improvement that we have been experiencing, and I appreciate the national government, the security agencies. We are working with them to ensure that Nakuru still go back to the 24 hours economy. Thank you very much. Okay. Issue to do with the pothole, I know I was asked directly, but I allow the CEO infrastructure to answer that. Ken, I know he'll do it.
Thank you so much.
It's on. Continue.
Thank you so much. My name is Kennedy Mungai. I'm the Chief Officer in charge of Roads and Public Works. I would wish to address myself to a question that was asked about Nakuru County working in collaboration with the NOS and the Ministry of Roads to do our roads. In conjunction with this topic, we want to say that is value for money. What we used to do, Trevor, we would do 1 kilometer of road at 1.4 million. Now we are doing a kilometer of road at only 600,000. So we need to give the people of Nakuru the value for money, despite the cartels using proxies to come and attack the county. The other thing I want to mention is about the potholes in the city. Today we commissioned the contractor to go around the city to ensure that all the potholes are repaired. And Her Excellency the Governor has also asked the President, and we have been given ₦1 billion to dual Oginga Odinga Road all the way to D&D, and all the roads that are serving into Oginga Odinga Road will also be repaired in this city. Lastly, Trevor, for the value for money, because you're also in charge of infrastructure, is that since 2022, the county government of Nakuru has enhanced connections of water by 17,000 households by installation of 490 kilometers of pipeline. That is value for money, and it's also contributing to public health by ensuring that we reduce waterborne diseases. I want to mention something about environment, Trevor, because it's crucial to our county. The county government of Nakuru, through the governor of Nakuru, has given a minimum of 1.5% of its development budget towards environmental protection and climate change. That program is doing very well in terms of climate change mitigation and resilience of the community. We are hoping that what the city manager has asked can be listened to Kenya Power. The governor has given us a lot of money to do solar lighting, but the biggest challenge that we are facing is poles. If Kenya Power can allow us to use the poles that are existing, it will actually ease the burden that we have. Thank you so much.
Pass the microphone. Give Gikenya a chance also, yeah. Just, I know it's not a CEC, but just give Gikenya a chance, but yes, continue first.
Thank you very much, Trevor. I'll respond on the issue of an influx of patients at the PGH. Yes, there has been an influx of patients at the Nakuru Teaching and Referral Hospital. Last year alone, in the whole county, we attended to more than 6 million patients. The reason, especially our main hospital here in the town, serves so many people is because we are also taking care of our neighboring counties, like the counties of Baringo, Laikipia, the neighboring Nyandarua, and also Narok counties. So what are the interventions? Her Excellency the Governor has increased the budget on health, on the health department by 10%. And we are also building the capacity of other smaller health facilities like the Bondeni Maternity Hospital, and I can confidently here stand and say that the Bondeni Hospital is taking care of maternal services, that is maternity services, and we are performing around 34 CSAs in a month. We are also appealing to the members of the public to embrace health centers near them so that we can decongest the main hospitals. On the same issue, we have also operationalized 12 new health centers in different parts of Nakuru County. Among them, we have Barut in Nakuru Town West. We also have Mogoga in Nakuru Town East. We have Gatondo Merironi in Gilgil, among others. We are also revitalizing, or rather finishing up, Molo, Gilgil, Njoro, Subuki and Salga and Kiptororo level 4 hospitals. You asked about accountability. There is value for money in Nakuru County, if I may say, and also I may say on the issue of health. Indirectly, we are also addressing nutrition of our young learners, because Her Excellency the Governor in 2024 started school feeding program in Nakuru County, dubbed Lishe na Mama, where young learners are being fed with fortified porridge every day. Okay. And that has really helped us because it has enhanced learning outcomes, and it has also made retention and enrollment big. As I finish, Asiba, please allow me. I would also want to say there is accountability for money, because we are really addressing the issue of our youth through skill development to empower them through practical skills. Because Her Excellency the Governor has a capitation fund of 30,000 per trainee per year. They are only left with paying for the examination fees and lunch fees, which is also catered for by bursary, to allow them to get decent work and also be self-reliant. As I finish, Trevor, just half a minute. We also, as Nakuru County, got recognized 3 weeks ago by Kenya Vision 2030 as one of the best counties. We were actually ranked second nationally because of having automated our services and digitized employability. Thank you.
1 minute. Yes. 1 minute as we close.
Thanks a lot, Trevor.
Yes.
My name is Dr. Magare Gikenyi. Yes. I'm a consultant general surgeon in Nakuru County Government. I'm also a human rights activist. I will ask, because of time, I will ask straightforward 4 questions to DG. Number 1, when NHIF was transitioning from NHIF to SHA, they needed only 800 million. Why did you decide to go to 104 billion to get the system, which was against the constitution? Number 2, e-citizen, we filed the case which the court declared unconstitutional, the 50 bob, which are being charged to Kenyans. But you have failed to remove it. Why are you doing that? And finally, to the county government, what happens to the Keringet Stadium, Afra Stadium, and Industrial Park? Otherwise, thanks a lot.
Tundo, and I'd like to hear closing remarks. Yes, Waziri.
Okay, thank you, Trevor.
Very brief, just 1 minute. Then start
1 minute for me. First of all, just to say, for value for money, the issue of affordable housing. It's not true that the mama bogas are not affording. It's categorized as social housing, where no deposit is required. You just get your house, you pay at the rate of 3%. Then there's affordable housing, where a 5% deposit. So the social housing, actually, the mama bogas can afford, because no deposit is required. The affordable housing, you get at 6%, you do 5%. Then there's affordable middle income, whereby you can just go and get a house there at market value. It's not Uongo, but maybe the guy there can come to my office, interact with it, it's available. The market, Trevor, we have more than 25 markets that are being constructed within Nakuru County, and we are saying this is very much value for money. Trevor, something that has not been said. We've had a lot of rains in the country, higher than normal. Nakuru County, we've not experienced flooding. It's not coincidental. It's because we invested heavily in infrastructure, especially drainages. That's why the issues you found in Nairobi have not happened here. On the issue of PWDs, I can attest that we are giving them priority. In Naivasha, we are concluding a 13.6 million project of paving that is being undertaken by a person with disability. So, Trevor, we can say Nakuru, yes, we are making strides. We are getting value for money. Industrialization, we agree, is a challenge. What the governor and his excellency, the deputy, are doing, we are leveraging on the GDC that is here, and we are getting a lot of power. We are expecting a lot of power that will generate industries in Nakuru town. We are also getting in Naivasha the geothermal home. We are also getting the industrial parks that are starting there. So industrialization is going to come back to Nakuru, courtesy of massive power investment.
Thank you, Waziri. Thank you. Tundo, closing remarks, 1 minute. Now I'm back to my panelists. Closing remarks as we finish. Yes, Tundo.
He has spoken, I haven't.
Tundo is part of my panelists.
I haven't spoken, but he has spoken.
Okay, 1 minute.
And I'm responding to PWDs.
Okay.
So my name is Gladys Kamuren. I'm the Chief Officer, Gender, Social Services and Inclusivity, which within my department, we deal with the issues of PWD, and some issues have been raised here. One, we are considering PWDs in every aspect: employment, contracts, and empowerment, waivers. We are considering for every other aspect, but we want to just say that the PWDs also, just like women and children and youth, should come out in large numbers to take up their opportunities, because they are there, but they are not availing themselves. They are free for you. Number two, I want to say that on the issue of medicine missing in hospitals, I want to clarify that payment in medicine are put in different categories. If you go to health center and dispensary, there are medicine that by policy they are not stored in those facilities. Okay. So when you don't find medicine in those facilities because of a policy, then you don't say there are no medicine, because you are being referred to the higher level where those medicine are stored. Okay. Yes.
Thank you, Waziri.
To my counterpart from national government, the people, the AGAP, this group of women, young people, and PWDs, we pray that disbursements to the counties to be done in time, because when they do the projects and they are not paid in time, then they stand a chance of actually going back.
Waziri, thank you.
They
Let's
don't
leave
have
it there.
other sources of funds.
Thank you, Waziri. 1 minute. Close, Tundo.
Thank you,
You're
Trevor.
one of my panelists. Just recommendations as we close. 1 minute, strictly.
As I recommend to the government, especially to the DG, I will like to, as you send back the information to the national government, please ask the president to relaunch the issue of the agripreneurs, to do mass registration of farmers. Also, ask the president through the Council of Governors, make sure that all the APs agripreneurs are paid on time. And also, the issue of fertilizer, make sure that every registered farmer receives a message and goes to the NCBB, receives the fertilizer on time, so that we can farm very well and we can improve on production.
Thank you. Chimwani, 1 minute. Closing remarks. What do you recommend going forward?
So expansion of ICT training and TVET digital courses to include things such as when we look at AI engineering, we look at things like cybersecurity, because I can assure you in Kenya we don't have enough cybersecurity personnel. But also, just real quick, I wanted to address the musician directly. The musician who was asking about government funding. Truth of the matter is, you don't really need government funding. If you look at Kenya, the examples I could give you, people like Toxic Lyrically, which government funding did he get? You have avenues that already exist, things like Spotify, things like SoundCloud, things like YouTube. You really don't need that. If the music is good, the audience is already baked in. It's already baked in. There's someone else who mentioned about Wi-Fi being a myth. The Wi-Fi is actually not a myth. As at last spot check, what the government has done so far, let's give government its credit and we give it its beating when necessary. What they have done so far as at the last spot check is 4,690 kilometers of fiber have been installed. There are 282 digital hubs. There are 1,563 Wi-Fi hotspots created. And this is where accountability comes in. The problem is when Wi-Fi is availed, you'll find people killing the bandwidth by constantly downloading. What do you expect is going to happen to that infrastructure if you're misusing it? We also have to take accountability as Kenyans.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you. Charles?
It's sad to hear that you're not getting value for your money when it comes to security. But my advice to you is that you need to embrace community policing. hakuna mtu anaweza fanya kazi ya polisi kama wewe sio polisi. So the only way you get value for your money is you embrace community policing and you hold those security agencies accountable in your communities. Okay. Thank you.
Joy?
I hear the calls about collaborating on policing. Now, we have tried to be generous with our poles. Problem has been people who want to string fiber want to use our poles. People who want to mount various infrastructure want to use our poles. And of recent, we realize it's been affecting the tensioning, and we have had a lot of incidences of poles falling. It's not something that is out of reach, but it's something that must be worked collaboratively so that the operation and maintenance does not become a problem. Now, what we've seen in other counties is especially the solar that is mounted on top are prone to vandalism, just like our. So people want to climb to get them out. So I guess between the county government of Nakuru and our technical teams, we have to have that conversation. We see which areas it's feasible, where it's better to, because we can do something like Mulika Mwizi, then you mount on them. So we can collaborate, because this is something I'm sure we can find a solution. Like I said, if the county wants to solarize, we're actually all for it. Then just as a final comment, Kenya Power is keen on delivering value to Kenyans, but we are also aware that the investment has to go back into this. Our system is over 100 years old. It is old, it is struggling. And so the infrastructure bond that has come out, being turned into a government-owned enterprise, it means we have to operate profitably. So when we are stricter and we find that we are more, we are collecting our money, we are dealing with power stealing, we are dealing with illegal connections, it's not a matter of fighting Kenyans. It's because the space we are in right now, we have to be profitable. We are not getting any help from the exchequer. And so as Kenyans, we also need to be mindful on how we use power, be responsible, and ukipatwa unanyonga meter, it is a crime. You will face the consequences. So it's time for a change in attitude as well. Okay. And finally, vandalism of public infrastructure. Kenyans are the ones who still end up paying for it. Like I said, the first half year of this year, we lost over 500 transformers. Yes. Each transformer is 2 million bob. That's 1 billion shillings that Kenyans are going to pay to replace those transformers. Okay. Let's tujipende kama wa Kenya, and let's protect what is ours. Okay. Mali ya umma ni mali yetu sisi sote.
DG, finally.
Thank you very much, Trevor. I think looking at the sentiments in the room, my final remarks would be to say yes, we can all see from the numbers what has really happened. And the focus continues to be, number one, on our human capital development, all the way from childhood all the way to university. Education sector takes about 765 billion of our money, which is the largest expenditure in our budget. And a lot has been achieved in that space. When you look at the university funding that goes in, you look at the children that have been absorbed into the TVET units, you look at 23,000 schools that have been built afresh, 1,600 laboratories, new ones which have been put across, the hiring of 100,000 teachers to bring the number to about 1 to 28, close to the UNESCO required of 1 to 25. Something is happening around that space. Around creation of job opportunities around the country, yes, we agree that we need to put up more industries across, and we've done quite a lot in terms of reviving most of those industries, and we've put money in places where it creates the most efficient economic growth. Look at the renaissance in the sugar sector, where that was a sector which had collapsed. Now we have that sector up, increased production by doubling it up from 400 to about 800,000 metric tons, and now we've reinstated the jobs both directly to the farmers and employees in that sector. Okay. The construction of a big entity like Bomas, which is very catalytic. Bomas is an idea which has not just been born the other day. It's been there since 2007 in our vision 2030, that we needed to put up an investment within the maize infrastructure. Without that in the city, you're not going to sustain 5-star hotels. So by delaying that core infrastructure in having a modern conference center, big hotels, big brands like Hilton, Intercontinental, Ground Plaza, which we used to have, all collapsed, not because they couldn't run better businesses, but because government delayed in putting up the catalytic infrastructure that could allow these hotels to thrive. Today, when that has been done, even before it's opened up, we already have a queue of many investors who want to open 5-star hotels in the city. We have a huge appetite for big conferences in the city, and that is what will also help us be able to address our aviation hub in terms of JKIA.
Right.
So basically, that is what the government is going to do. To close it, Trevor, is to say, even as we interact as citizens, we also need to be very careful. There's the issue of Dr. Gikenyi in terms of e-citizen and the system. So basically, digitization is an important tool, Dr. Gikenyi, because digitization allows us to open up the space so that you're able to audit. It's more transparent, and it allows for accountability. And it also gives citizens a convenience in terms of accessing services. Today, if you are to access, say, a simple thing like applying even for a passport, for example, you will be able to do that digitally before you go and access it. Things like a certificate of good conduct, it will allow you to be able to do that right from your desk. So if you compare that convenience it gives you and the 50 shillings that you will pay, I'm sure that speaks to it.
All right.
Finally, is to say, with all this, let's also manage our sentiments so that we don't cloud it with these political torrents and all that. Because when that happens, then we lose the point, so that the right questions that should be asked get lost. Because it's good for citizens to hold government to accountable, and it's good for government also to hear citizens, so that when you go back and sit and make policies, work on budgets, you're working it in the best interest of Kenyans. Thank you.
Thank you, DG. Thank you very much. Lawrence Kibet, DG Public Investment Portfolio Manager Treasury, Joy Brenda Mdivo, Chairperson KPLC, Charles Otieno, Public Safety and Security Sector Reformist, and Solomon Tundo, Agronomist and Dairy Management Consultant, Chimwani Chitai, Cube Studio KE, and also a farmer, and all of you in the CECs from Nairobi County, with you from Nakuru County. We thank you so much for making time, and everybody else who's been here. This is the inaugural show for Sauti ya Mwananchi. We'll continue doing this over the time. We started the conversation on Monday. It's Tuesday. The time is never really enough. It's almost 20 minutes past midnight, but we appreciate your time and your patience. Next time we'll come to a station near you and a place near you. On behalf of everyone who made this possible, we say good night and God bless.